If you're looking for a white collar job in this competitive job market, this one's for you. Stick around. So I'm specifically talking to those folks in their 30s or 40s who, for the first time, are going, why is it so hard for me to get a job? And why am I having to jump through so many hoops? As somebody who's been in the business for 20 years, I want to walk you through the evolution of job search and the big dramatic change that is about to happen. That if you can get on the tip of the curl of this, you will get in front of recruiters and hiring managers faster and beat out your competition. Okay. So, first thing we have to think about is going back into the olden days. You heard me before there was any online applications. The way that you applied for an office job, you walked in and you gave them a resume. Okay. So, fine, you had a resume, but then that wasn't enough. Now they started to get lots of resumes. And so they needed a way to differentiate you. Along came the cover letter. Well, can you write? Can you communicate? Can you speak professionally? So then everyone had to start to slap together a cover letter. Now you had to hand in a cover letter and a resume. Okay. But then they didn't like people stopping in anymore. So you had to start mailing those in. Along comes the internet monster, and they're able to post jobs. And so now you need not just a resume and a cover letter, but you need to know how to fill out an online application. Okay, so now there's that whole process where you fill it out and you're like, why am I filling out the same thing that's on my resume? But I'm doing it, I'm attaching things, and here we go. Fast forward, along comes LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn is more than an online application. It's a place for recruiters to proactively look for people. So instead of soliciting applications or waiting for resumes to come in, they now have this crazy awesome tool where they can go on there, put in a few keywords of skill sets they're looking for in a location, and all of a sudden start to get profiles back. So now you need a resume, a cover letter, know how to apply online, and now you need a LinkedIn profile. Okay. So you get all these things today, and now there's a new thing you need to do. Now, LinkedIn has become a social media platform, and this is good for you. This is good for you. Hear me out. So, because there are a billion profiles on LinkedIn, the way their algorithm worked was they would search for people based on their profiles. Well, guess what? Thanks to AI, ChatGPT, there's a lot of bogus profiles. There's a lot of people that make stuff up on their profiles. And all of a sudden, the search tool is not working so hot for recruiters. They need a better way. So 2 years ago, LinkedIn starts by announcing creator mode. And for a year, people who turned on creator mode and started creating content got higher visibility in the feed. A year ago, they changed the algorithm. So now the algorithm puts way more emphasis on what you're putting in your LinkedIn feed, not your profile, your feed. So, my point to you is if you want to be found by recruiters and hiring managers, you need to have a LinkedIn posting strategy. It is a social media platform for individuals like you to share your knowledge and expertise so that you can be found. And this is why in the last year, people are like, I used to get contacted all the time on LinkedIn. Now it's crickets because you don't have the right strategy. It's based on frequency and relevancy. And so you have to strategize on what you're putting in your LinkedIn feed so that you get found, so that they will go to your LinkedIn profile. Now, why is this good for you? Because most people aren't doing it. So the moment you start to change your strategy on your LinkedIn feed, you can dramatically improve the chances you get found by recruiters. It takes a few weeks for it to kick in, but if you're consistent, the kids always called it a streak on social media. You need to start a streak on LinkedIn. But here's the upside very quickly here. You're not going to need a resume and you're not going to need a cover letter. All you're going to need is your LinkedIn profile being optimized and a really strong LinkedIn feed where you're sharing your thoughts and ideas. That's what will replace the resume and the cover letter. It's called the need for impact evidence. Companies do skills based hiring, but just reading that you have a skill on a resume doesn't cut it. They actually need to what? Hear you talk about the skill to confirm and validate the impact evidence that you can do that job and you do have those skill sets. Now, normally, when does that happen? In the interview. But if you don't know somebody at the company and if you're applying online and you're not getting any interviews, how do you create a situation where a recruiter and hiring manager can stumble across you, hear you talking about your skills, right? Impact evidence, and go, oh, this is the person we need. This is why LinkedIn changed its algorithm. And this is where you have an amazing opportunity to crush it. And here's the best part: when you apply online and thousands of other people do too, you're a commodity. There's plenty of people. So you know what happens? You lose on price, and price is salary. They can knock you down and say, hey, this is all we're paying because, we got all these thousands of applicants. When they're searching for you and they come across you and they hear you and they get excited about you as a candidate, now it's values based. Now they want you, which means when they make the offer, you sit in the driver's seat. This is the change that is happening right now at lightning speed. And if you don't understand it, you're missing out. So the takeaway from this should be you need a LinkedIn posting strategy for your feed that will help recruiters and hiring managers find you based on your skill sets, your industries, and other key information. And if you would like to really understand this, I actually ended up doing a training for 1,700 people. It's free and counting. You can go find it over here, linked in my bio. Just watch it. It's free. Put your email address in. I'll send you the link and watch it and listen to it. I will explain to you exactly what's going on, and I will show you how to build what we call a content strategy matrix. And it's a document you can use to figure out what your next 25 pieces of content should be on LinkedIn to build your feed to be found. Okay? Good luck, my friends. Go get them.